Throughout your workday, you will experience a range of emotions. And there might be some positive emotions. It might be fun, enjoyable. It might feel good. You might feel courageous. You might feel motivated, inspired, engaged. But then you might also feel frustration, anger, boredom, sadness, lots of emotions on the spectrum. So the key to success is to understand how our emotions contribute to our thoughts and behaviors, and how we can regulate those emotions that have a negative impact on our thoughts and behaviors so that we can stay in a productive state, so that they don't get in the way of our relationships and our work. Let's first start by looking at what's happening to us and our brain when we are in a state of high negative emotion. So we're looking at the fight or flight response, or the amygdala hijack. The amygdala hijack is the name given to the fight or flight response by Daniel Goleman as your response to stressful emotions. To understand what's going on, let's start to look at a bit of a simplistic way of understanding our brain. The amygdala is part of your limbic system, and it helps you to regulate your emotions and your behavioral responses. And then you also have the prefrontal cortex, which is kind of like your rational thinking brain. This is where you analyze situations and then you figure out and weigh up alternatives and figure out your best way forward. So when you're in a stressful situation, your amygdala automatically steps in. It sends off hormones to help your body go into fight or flight mode. These are very automatic reactions that you can't directly impact. So when we experience mild threats, our prefrontal cortex, the rational brain, might be able to jump in and analyze the situation and then kind of take over and help us come up with a response. But in very heightened, very stressful situations, the amygdala takes over and kind of shuts off the rational part of our brain. So now we're in fight or flight mode. This response was obviously really helpful for early humans because they really had to figure out what to do in life or death situations. Today, the amygdala's response gets triggered by anger, frustration, fear, anxiety, or stress. And so in most situations nowadays, we're not in a life or death situation. So we actually do want to be able to access the rational part of our brain to help us assess of what's going on. Because once the amygdala hijack happened, our brain can't really distinguish between a life or death threat or just frustration about a report or what somebody else said to us. So it's important that we practice and we develop our emotional intelligence so we can practice to understand what are our common triggers for the amygdala hijack so that we can start to react a little bit earlier and help ourselves to regulate, or that we even can avoid certain situations where possible. Don't forget, emotions are normal. We are human beings. We have emotions. Every few seconds we go up and down on the scale. It's completely normal. There's no shame attached to feeling emotional. You can't control what you feel, but you can control what comes after that and how you deal with it.